Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's John, if you didn't know that already. Today we are taking a look at the new blog post that ArenaNet just posted, well, just recently posted, like 2 days ago, about the Lowland Kodan. So they've got a post here called The Bare Necessities, a peek at the Lowland Kodan and the story of Janthir Wilds. Very interested in the Lowland Kodan, so let's take a look at this. Get ready to watch me doing some yawning again. Classic me reading and yawning. Oh god, light spoilers ahead. That just came in, kind of caught my eye with the red. Hey there, this is Indigo, the Guild Wars 2 Janthir Wilds narrative lead, and Chloe, how do you say that? The expansion story design lead. We'd love to walk you through a high-level look at the Guild Wars 2 Janthir Wilds story to help set the stage for launch next month. I can't read. I'm adding words. The story of Guild Wars 2 Janthir Wilds is a treasure trove of intrigue and lore, both past and present, and we'll be encountering a variety of allies and enemies as we venture into the long-awaited region of Janthir. We'll be picking right up where Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure left off. Let's dive in. Please note, light spoilers ahead. We'll be teasing a little bit about the region and current affairs surrounding the start of the expansion. So if you rather go in totally unspoiled, you'd best skip this one. They've warned us now. This includes spoilers. Do not watch if you do not want to see or hear about any spoilers. Great image. What is that? Ancient magic. Bridging Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure. Get things going, let's look back at last year. Following the end of Dragon Cycle, Tyrion had no idea what the ramifications would be. As we learned in Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure, Suwon's death caused a powerful blast of magic instability that fractured all sorts of magical forces and barriers within Tyria. Am I like really bad with my attention span or something? I don't remember learning that. Where did we learn that? Maybe I wasn't focusing in the first part of the story. I don't know. That doesn't make sense. I'm gonna have to play it again to find out. He's already on. What is wrong with me? Yeah, anyway. Suwon's death did that, apparently. So this is kind of related in some way. Maybe. Arena immediately went to work re-establishing herself as a filter for those magics, and stability was quickly restored. We've only just begun to understand the consequences of that transfer of power. Oh, wait, this is way back. I think I do remember this part. I remember that sort of didn't stand out to me. Right at the onset of Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure, the commander was thrown into uncharted territory. We learned that the World Spire... Can I just read, please? The commander was, anyway. Sorry. Just yelling. We learned that doesn't help. We learned that the World Spire, powerful conduit forged by the wizard Isgarin, was fractured following that blast. The spire was one of the few barriers sitting between us, potential calamity, and it only took a moment for the denizens of a parallel realm to worm their way in. And thus, the commander was introduced to the long-fought war between the Astral Ward and the Cryptus. Question to get clarity, if someone can answer this, is Secrets of the is the Wizard's Tower physically in another dimension to Tyria? Omnitas is, right? It is. Skywatch is another dimension, right? And as well as Internios is. Even though Internios is literally right next to them on the map. Kind of doesn't make sense in some ways. Through the story of Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure, the commander aids the Astral Ward in rescuing the Wizard's Court while toppling the malevolent Cryptus King Eparch. While the fight against the Cryptus... Swing my eye, Jesus. While the fight against the Cryptus was won, there are a lot of stories left to be told about wizardly new friends, quote unquote. What is that supposed to mean? Okay, friends. The Astral Ward has proven to be a worthy ally with a benign cause, but we barely touch the surface of their more questionable choices, not to mention their cantankerous leader, Isgarin. We know they helped in some ways, but why didn't they get involved sooner? Where do we even start with the fractal fiasco? Time to pull us back to the present. Interesting stuff here. While the commander, now the Wayfinder, was fighting back against Eparch and Nios, the threat of the Cryptus didn't go unnoticed by the rest of Tyria. In fact, that threat was very much noticed, and nations started talking. At the start of Guild Wars 2 Janthir Wilds, the commander will receive an invitation This is actually a spoiler. Holy shit. To the inaugural meeting of the Tyrion Alliance, and oh boy, do they have a lot of thoughts about our latest demonic invaders. After everything the world has endured, Tyrion's patience with destruction is limited. While we want to keep some of the minutiae surrounding the Tyrion Alliance under our hats for now, including our lavish host of guest appearances. Ooh. In addition to providing the player with a new directive, great, thank you, please, thank you. The Alliance has also given us the ability to demonstrate Tyrion's growth outside of the main story path. Interesting. What's happening in the rest of the world? How are things progressing when we're in the thick of adventure? Very interesting. And can you change the maps? Have the maps change as well? I'm gonna write that down. Right, I digress. Let's get back to it. The Greater Janthir region. One of the results of the first Tyrion Alliance meeting will send the commander and a very small team of allies into the dangerous wilds of the Janthir region, starting due north of Divinity's Reach over the Crichton border. So that's how we get in, huh? Divinity's Reach is going to have an entrance. The initial focus of our mission is to establish a diplomatic connection with a small faction of Kodan, the Lowlanders. While hesitant, welcome us into their village. Well, why are they giving this spoiler? Why would they reveal that? Come on. I mean, I went into this knowing that there would be spoilers, but they said light spoilers. And is that really light? Like, is there that much more that they could spoil? Like a huge amount of spoilers in there, like that we could be. Maybe it's light for them, but that seems kind of big. Like at the beginning. Anyway, I did this to myself. It's not like I'm not complaining or anything. I'm just saying that seems like a bigger spoiler than they're making it out to be. Anyway, the Lowlanders. Anyway, while hesitant, welcome us into their village. We spend some time getting to know their culture as we explore the lowland shore, which we'll dig into a bit in a moment. Partway through the story, we'll be pulled even further into Janthir. That's when we'll make our way into the Isle themselves. The bay is rich with history, bloody, brutal, sullen history, and we've never strayed too close until now. We know that Saul, in his fledgling white mantle, went to the Isles in search of something, leaving with an eye of Janthir. We also know that other conspicuous figures have ventured into the region too. On the first island we reach, Janthir Sintry will begin to unravel the tragic history behind the ruined village of Gavril. But that's a good spot to pause because, most importantly, bears. Nice, they look cool. Lowland Kodan. One of the most exciting things to dig into has been our new faction of Lowland Kodan, who've called Janthir home for many generations despite the region being viciously dangerous and inhospitable. They are expert survivalists, cool, and have carved out a comfortable, even cozy way of life in these lands. All Lowlanders are capable fighters and learn survival tactics from the time they are cubs. Interesting. Wayfinders spend much of their time in Janthir learning about and learning from the Lowlanders, as they have much to teach. Nice. As a population isolated from their northern Kodan cousins for so long, and living in a much different environment, they're a little different than the Kodan we are familiar with. Perhaps the most notable difference lies in their spiritual belief system. Unlike their other Kodan, who revere the will and balance of Koda, the Lowland Kodan hold in reverence the environment, the relationship they maintain with it, and the responsibility they have as stewards of the land. Yeah, this is not an undertone of humans with Earth here, is there? There should be. I'd love one. I hope that that's what they're doing. Rather than viewing themselves as the light and protectors chosen by Koda, Lowlanders act out of a duty to maintain necessary balance in a harsh place where taking is easier than giving and survival can be difficult. Very interesting. These differences trickle down through other aspects of their society. Kodan leadership is typically a partnership between a spiritual mouthpiece of Koda, called Voice, and a physical protector called a Claw. However, the Lowland Kodan have a Claw as their sole leader, a feature of their society that goes back as far as anyone can remember. The Claw is not without balance, though. A council that represents key roles in the village lends the Claw perspective and advice. What is it, though? Interesting. Oh, that's fun. That's fun to see. There's a Warclaw there. As the Wayfinder spends more time with the Lowland Kodan and begins to earn their trust, we'll gain more glimpses into their lives and their history as denizens of Janthir. That'd be cool to learn. Heading north to Janthir. The inhabitants of Tyria are on the cusp of a new era. It's time for nations to ally and work together on a more global scale. I thought this was a local scale, like I thought it wasn't global for this. Why is it still, I don't know. Those seeds of alliance were planted under the threat of the Elder Dragons, but the need did not end with the Elder Dragons. As new threats arise, it's good to have friends on your side. What better place to start than with people living next door? The Lowland Kodan might prove to be valuable allies if we can earn their trust and convince them it's worthwhile to join the global conversation. Right, so we're eventually going back to a global thing. I'm assuming what they're trying to get at. We're so excited to be able to give some first looks in the narrative of Guild Wars 2 Janthir Wilds. There's so much fun existing lore and history to dig into and build upon with new stories and characters. Can't wait for you to experience it all. This place looks like shit to be in. That would suck. That's going to suck, I think. I hope the map can change. That would be awesome. Pre-purchasing it beforehand gives you that. Anyway, that is a first look at the Lowland Kodan of Janthir Wilds. Very exciting stuff. I can't wait to try it, and I will be pre-ordering soon. As soon as I get some money in my bank account, I'll be pre-ordering. Anyway, thank you very much for joining, and I will see you in my I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.